Hey, High Vibe Tribe here with another present moment.
We are here at this beautiful, lovely Dragon Energy Lake. And check out these really cool rocks that are around here. It's totally like dragon scale energy.
So healing here, you just feel the stillness. It just reminds you to breathe. Just be grateful
Serpentine.
for what's here, what's everywhere.
Desi and I were discussing a really important topic to us earlier, and we decided we wanted to make a video about it.
Definitely, because it's just a fragment of the big picture. Because everything we consume can
Oh, my kitty's
affect our
meowing.
energy.
To go get the cat.
It's literally not just what you eat, but today we plan on talking about the physical aspect of consuming with eating, not just like seeing and hearing and writing and onward, you know. We're really just trying to be here for everyone. So when you hear us talk, listen and really integrate and feel your feelings at what makes you want to express, you know. Feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe, all of that, because we have a giveaway going on. Stay tuned. It's gonna be throughout the video. Stay in tune.
Another cool rock I found. Oh, it's our little goddess enjoying nature. This is the view we got. So we wanted to talk about healing our relationship with food. We were discussing earlier, like, all of the crazy stuff that was fed to us practically against our will when we were little, and we didn't really know any better because we trusted the adults that we were around to, like, nurture us and to feed us, and, you know, we followed our taste buds, and
They're just passing down their own belief system and traumas from the whole ancestral lineage. That's why we're healing that. And like even little things like, you know, putting in front of the television, like this is telling lies to your vision while you're eating, and it's making you have this need, but it's just feeding a side of you that's not really existing. It's just conditioning, and it's not only the food that they advertise and the food that they give us that they're just think, oh, it's part of our culture, it's part of this, it's part of that. It's really, it goes way deeper. This with what's going on. So that's why we're changing the paradigm. And hey, just because you're vegan or vegetarian and all that doesn't mean you're healthy. Like there's people that eat just organic, even meat and dairy, and they're healthier than a lot of people I know that are vegan. So you just gotta consume wisely, and like we were saying, everything you consume is literally just not food and what you eat. It goes way more in depth with all your senses, everything.
yeah, because I mean, some people, like, they love deep fried things, and they're deep frying stuff in canola oil, like they're using olive oil or coconut oil to cook when that doesn't really have like a high what's the flame point?
Yeah, just heat point.
Heat point, yeah. High heat point. So it's really important to, you know, if you're cooking food and you must use oil, use grapeseed oil or use avocado oil, or what are some other good oils?
Grapeseed's pretty high quality up there. But a lot of like weed, like oil's still a weird thing. Like it's not the best for the body. It still takes like a while to digest. So like just consume oil wisely, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we just wanna make this disclaimer, whatever you want to call it. Like we are not healers. We are just trying to guide one another to heal thyself.
And we're still healing ourselves too.
Exactly, that's what we're talking
We
about
are
today.
recovering. Our bodies are recovering from everything that we've put them through our whole lives. Like all of the different substances and foods and chemicals that we've put into our bodies. Our body is still processing that. It's still getting rid of those toxins. And it may show up as, mood disorders. Like it might show up as like fatigue, like lack of energy, like food cravings, mood swings, irritability. Like there's so many different ways that this can show up in the body.
Just like we were talking earlier, like I had to take the food away from our little kitty because she's still a baby. She doesn't have self-control yet. Just like when we were young, I don't know where you're located on this earth right now, but I feel like a lot of like systematic programming in America is like, oh, there's kids starving in Africa, so you gotta eat everything that's on your plate, like blah blah blah. It's like we've been conditioned to eat a lot of food that's not normal for our bodies to digest and fully absorb the nutrients. Like a lot of people might eat a lot of food, but they're nutrient deficient. They don't realize that. So we're trying to bring
That it's okay to stop eating. It's okay to leave food on your plate. You don't have to eat it all. You can save some for later. You can give some away. You can even give some back to the earth if you're eating clean, because the bugs, the animals, the chipmunks, they'll love it. That is if you're eating like whole foods, plant-based diet. And that's another thing we wanted to discuss. That's probably like the best thing. Like there's levels to like this eating. So
first you gotta cleanse your body, and start detoxing, and then it just keeps the cycle.
So you can be vegetarian, but then you can also be vegan. Then you can also be gluten-free. But people that are gluten-free are still eating rice, which also causes mucus and inflammation. So
corn, wheat,
corn,
they're all
wheat,
grown on pesticides right here.
Tofu, which is not that good for you. Canned food, especially too. It's like such
really
a low
messes up your
vibrational
gut
food.
health a lot, and all this processed like lab-grown meats,
Beyond
foods,
meat,
all
impossible meat, like
people don't realize it, but the FDA, CDC, WHO, blah blah blah, all those people, they're all connected. They're all the same people. So like, there's so many loopholes and things that like you gotta dissolve their bullshit and just live your own life. Like we're beings of sovereignty and make your own choice. Like hearing our voices right now, it might trigger you, and like there's no like your perception of us is just your own reflection. Like not we're still healing from that. We still project our own traumas and things that really aren't us to others still, but we're healing that, and the key is just to be aware. Awareness is everything. So like each little step you take, become more health conscious and aware. It will not only affect yourself but your loved ones, nature, everything around you changes when
do
you
your
change.
research and listen to your own body. Listen to how you feel after eating a certain thing, because I mean, some people, they eat a lot of nuts, like cashews, peanuts, Brazil nuts, pistachios. Those are all like really fatty nuts. And like me personally, I start breaking out after I eat nuts. My body, for some reason, doesn't like them. But you could be different. Your body could react differently to these types of nuts.
They're still good to soak though, because they're considered like moldy nuts. So like if you can either soak them, that's more, at least like overnight. It's just easier to digest.
Nuts and seeds, definitely. And even your grains that you eat, it's better to soak and or sprout them. Because like, let me tell you, once you eat like sprouted quinoa or like sprouted chickpeas, there's no going back. No more canned stuff like that. You could taste the metal in it, and you really wonder like, how is this processed? How is this lasting so long in this container? And all of those heavy metals are then leaching into your food. Same with like, opting for organic. It may be a little pricier, but our health is wealth. And if you
even
can,
with that, like even
if
if it's
you-
organic, you gotta be on it, because like honestly, you'd rather support like a CSA or a farm market, because there's a lot of loopholes nowadays with organic food, so you just gotta be aware with
Or
what you
grow it
buy.
yourself.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like, when you grow it yourself, it's so rewarding because you're literally, like, yielding your own crops and your own fruits of your labor, and tending to the soil and really connecting to the earth and your food in that way, and honoring it in all of its stages, and knowing, like, what it takes, the energy that it takes for it to be produced. When we go to the supermarket, like, people don't really see that. You just see a bunch of food on a shelf. You don't think, like, who harvested this? Who's been touching it? How many different hands have this touched? Has this touched? How many different hands has this touched or been through or sprayed with or waxed with?
All the energies that go into it is like what you consume too. Like, that's why you just gotta be careful.
Like, what is the condition of the soil that it was grown on? Because what were you saying, that a lot of, like, stuff is grown on, like, old plantations?
Yeah, like all corn, wheat, and rice grown in America and probably a few other countries, but definitely a lot of American-grown things are messed up nowadays. So, but and then also if you get stuff from other countries, it goes through radiation. So it's, you gotta balance it out. That's why it's best supporting any local organic farmer. Try to grow as much food as you can, no matter where you are. You gotta
Yeah, even your
make it happen.
spices, like, even like fruit you see, like, oh, from Mexico or whatever, all of that was treated with radiation just to get to the United States. So at that point, like, they're literally, like, microwaving your stuff, and does it even have any nutrients at that point? It's really hard to tell. It's hard to know. And it's hard to know even, like, what else has been treated with radiation, even within the United States. Like, we don't know what they're doing to this produce, or how they're making it so shelf stable and last so long. Because if you go to a farm, even an organic farm, you'll see that there will be bugs on the produce and they will be eating it away. Like, he's mentioned a lot of times in New York, there's apples, and you'll find worms on the apples, and that's how you know it's
That's
organic.
okay. Like, you gotta share the abundance.
But the apples in the store that claim to be organic, they don't have worms, and they're not, like, decaying or anything, and
You
they've
look
probably
shiny.
been there for a while. Even if they claim they haven't been waxed, I know apples do have a natural wax, but just use your discernment and really feel out your food and see if it's worth it. On a side note, a lot of people that eat jackfruit, I recommend you try fresh jackfruit. It's life-changing.
So healing. We're gonna have a lot of remedies. Yeah, with lettuce too. I didn't mean to say that, but
Lettuce
with
salad.
a lot of remedies coming up on our cookbook. We also have a remedy book coming soon, so stay tuned because there's gonna be a special giveaway to whoever shares the most love, likes, comments, subscribes, because it's gonna be going through a random algorithm and choosing the winner. So stay tuned for that. But back to this, like what we were talking about earlier, babe, like with the traumas, and like as a kid with food, like we were a lot of, like, almost felt forceful with a lot of foods that we ate, and
Or we didn't know better. We were just following our taste buds, and by that point we had parasites that were craving that food, and our parents or caregivers just enabling it.
then how you were saying, like, you actually used to eat food in front of a television.
Yeah,
So that's telling lies to your vision. And
my
like,
mom would sit me down in front of the TV every morning before school, and she would give me, like, sugary cereal, like, Cocoa Puffs or whatever, and I would be watching TV, and on TV there would be advertising, like, fuck shit food, like Kid Cuisine and, like, Burger King, and, like, all these, like, fast food restaurants, and I'm there as a child, like, intaking all of this sugar to break my fast with, not even, like, real sugar or fruit or anything. Just to go to school where they sell soda and chips and candy, and
so that's not only like, you're feeding yourself the parasites and or feeding the parasites with those type of foods, but those things, thoughts and memes or whatever from those clips that just run quick are literally energetic parasites. Like, everything's consciousness, nothing's really good or bad, but those energetic connections is what feeds these parasites, what we're all detoxing from. So just like, if you ever had that feeling where you don't even want to be on your phone, you put it down, but you just feel that urge to see what happened, like look at your phone. That's a parasite in itself. Technology feeds parasites as well. It's its own type of parasite. it's not just like physical, like in your body. It could be energy as well. But everything is consciousness. So like, use your discernment. We're all gonna be going through like adversity and challenges. So, your mind is the tool. You can agree or disagree, but that's why, if you think of it, even as a computer, if you want to stay with this, like, the new age, like, you're either programming your mind or being programmed. So that's why, like, I know when I have kids, they're not going to know what all these mainstream snack foods or restaurants are. Like, we're going to literally eat what we grow or barter, with likewise, like-minded individuals. So.
Fruits, veggies, and sea moss. And juice, fresh pressed juice.
Or I'll make this really good alkaline ice cream that, y'all be seeing that soon.
But I was like reading up the other day, and like it was saying too that like even when you do have a kid, like you should start them on the greens before you even give them fruit. So that way they like get used to the greens and the taste of them, even if they're bitter and astringent. So they then like don't reject those tastes later on and prefer like sweetness over them. Because fruit is good and it has its place, but at the same time, like you don't want like that to be the only thing or your only source of nutrients. Everyone's body is different. I know Desi, he likes being fruitarian. He's actually just did a watermelon fast.
For about a week. It was really good. Seeded, even though it was GMO, it's all like I could find, and I resonate with seeded watermelon more than organic seedless, because I'm still trying to comprehend that. Like, I don't know how something could be organic.
How it could be like organic /
Seedless.
non-GMO, but still seedless. It's weird in the system. But
yeah, I just did the week watermelon fast, and I feel
he
so much better.
He's been drinking spring water. It's his first day of his water fast. His breath stinks a little bit, but that's normal, because that means that all that nasty gunk is coming out.
Yeah,
he's detoxing.
Really feel the detoxing, like from parasites and mucus. I can feel it, and then
I think he saw them in his poop.
Yeah, and I'm also doing sun tea. A lot of the remedies that I put in here will be on our ebook or open for commission, so stay tuned. There's a brain boosting tea and an astral projection tea with, of course, a little sprinkle of rose just to, have those vibes. But everything's high vibrational in here. I did pick the mugwort myself from the Shasta area, and then we got some high vibrational blue lotus in there. So just, everything has its everyone grows at different rates and does their own thing, but definitely thinking if parasites, we're talking about food, healing your traumas and relationship with food, detoxing and then just fasting will help you like have so much more appreciation for food. Like when you're fasting, you just see people eat and you're like, what are they even tasting it? They're just shoveling it down their face, and like unconsciously, like all these habits we have are unconscious. That's why we're reprogramming our unconscious mind with this new paradigm. You'll take everything with so much more gratitude and just be thankful that we're eating this delicious organic food that comes from earth, and like especially when you feel it hasn't been through so many energies or other countries, like it just, you can feel the difference. Like I remember just picking the loquats off your tree and eating those, or
those are so good.
Just getting the fresh greens, and oh man, so good.
Oh, and tell them a little bit about natural flavors.
Oh yeah, like a lot of health foods, if you want to call it that, like you gotta really read the ingredients, because natural flavors, citric acid, all of that is made in a lab. Like natural flavors literally has probably about 100 different ingredients just in that, but they just write natural flavors. Or
it's like, what is that? What is in that? Why are you not telling us?
Or like citric acid is like,
I don't even know how they can get away with that. Oh, the kitty.
Citric acid isn't what it used to be either. It's like, it's literally made from black mold in the lab, and they put that in foods and beauty products and so much.
Yeah, citric acid comes from GMO mold. And they put it in like chips, they put it in like all different types of food, like tomato, like that acidity. So like, you know, tomato base, like sauces, like,
They even put it in like some birth control stuff nowadays. It's fucked up.
oh
Like,
yeah,
in the sacred
spermicide.
yoni. Like what?
Yeah, spermicide. It's like that should not be going anywhere near your sacred portal. Our whole being is a sacred portal, but
Exactly.
especially not like your yoni verse. That's not cool. But I mean, there needs to be like better alternatives, and that's why we're here to find those herbal remedies and let you guys know what are the
We're just
natural
trying to connect,
ways.
you know, the dots for the tribe, and like that's why I'm really looking forward for y'all to get our book, because not only is it gonna have ancestral remedies for the herbs, but it's gonna you could literally do meal prep with the remedies we're gonna give you to help you if you're trying to make this transition in life, because it's not easy. We did this alone, and I'm finally, you know, connecting with my partner here, and we're just like now I'm a raw vegan chef, and she's like becoming an alkaline chef, and it's beautiful.
Slow but sure process because I still do like some foods that are not alkaline. So I'm not completely alkaline yet. I still eat lemons sometimes, but they're from like my tree. And
Organic.
yeah. And what else? I got cauliflower the other day, so I do want to cook that. I'm not sure if chard is alkaline either. I did have a chard wrap the other day as well, which is pretty good.
We were just, you know, transitioning from no processed food. That's the biggest.
And then even like, you know, detoxing off the onions right now. Like right now I'm trying to like, you know, help my body and like lower my sugar intake because I was starting to feel like a little bit of side effects from like eating too much sugar. And just like stick to more natural sugars. I did eat an ice cream sandwich the other day. It was really good, but I probably won't do that for a while. I'm gonna just wait until we get
Just
another
make that
blend
ourselves.
tech, and then he makes the best alkaline ice cream ever. That's one thing I really miss about being at home and using the blend tech is his ice cream that he would make and his smoothie bowls that he would bliss me with every day with like the mulberries and the goji berries on top. Oh my god, those are so good.
Yeah, like
But even on the go, you can still make really good stuff. And you don't gotta
We do it
blend
all
it
the
up.
time.
Like, just eat the raw ingredients. Fuck it. I've only eaten apples today. Fuji apples. I ate 3 apples. And I got strawberries waiting for me in the car, sunflower sprouts, and some lettuce, and some cauliflower, some tomatoes, some avocados, and some like mushrooms. So I'm gonna just saute those up and make them into like a wrap. A raw wrap too. No more processed wraps. And no more fake cheese either. I learned my lesson when I tried to make this like alkaline nacho cheese, and it came out so bad. I don't know what I did to it, but it was literally spirit telling me that I don't even need to be replicating these things anymore. Like my body does not need this
like
flavor or taste
if you
anymore.
wouldn't want to eat it, why would you want to replicate it? I feel nowadays like the only thing that we kind of still replicate once in a while is like we make it. Just is definitely gonna be on the cookbook, but we make alkaline pizza and alkaline empanadas and stuff like that.
Yeah, but
it's
that's
like a
not
treat. It's like
that's not like replicating like cheese or anything, because we just do like green sauce on it,
Yeah.
like straight up. I think the only thing that we did replicate once was we made
the burgers.
the mung bean. What was it? Vegan omelets, and we have 2 different recipes for the vegan omelets. One we do with mung beans, and those came out really good. And then the other one we do with chickpea flour, and those are like some of our favorite things. But chickpeas naturally have like that eggy flavor, and we'll put like the curry seasoning in it, so it's really yummy that way. And then yeah, the empanadas are really good. Raw apple pies. But I'm definitely gonna try to practice more mindful eating because I do eat very fast, and I eat probably more than I should. And I think that's just some stuff that, you know, comes from my childhood of like, you know, being overfed and nobody putting like a limit on like how much I should eat, and me just like being having the free will to like eat as much as I can or whatever I want, like no restrictions. Like parents just feed you whatever, because like my mom, I love her dearly, but she worked a lot, and I'm sure a lot of like parents are in the same boat where they work a lot and they're trying so hard to like make enough money to support their family and sustain their home and their lifestyle that they don't have time to cook for their children.
Microwave foods.
Microwave food, like canned foods, you know, sugary cereals, or they eat out at fast food restaurants. And
Or even a lot of restaurants, you'd be surprised they use canned foods.
And I mean, all it takes is a little bit of meal prep. And if, you know, someone has the time and the energy and really wants to do it, they will find the time for it. They will. And I know it's hard out here for a lot of people. Like, there's a lot of like single parents out there that, you know, they find it convenient, and we don't know what like people's struggles are. But, you know, we need to save the future generations and take that into consideration when we make our decisions, because those eating habits are going to follow that child for the rest of their life. It's not just, you know, it's something that's really hard to deprogram. And then once those parasites are present, they're just going to keep craving that comfort food that reminds them of their childhood.
Very true. Biggest transition, if you're just starting off, I don't know, everyone's at a different level, at a different sprout where they're growing. So biggest transition is just go to start eating whole foods. No more like, you know, you want ramen, you could easily make your own ramen.
Zucchini noodles.
Zucchini noodles are so.
And there's so many recipes. Like, you guys got access to the internet. Like, there are thousands of recipes. If you don't know how to cook, you know, follow the recipe. And if you do know how to cook, glance at a few recipes and then flow your own way and add stuff that you like, that you know you're gonna enjoy. But one advice I would give to everyone is definitely taste it as you go. Because I've gone overboard on a few seasonings sometimes, and it has like completely changed the whole dish to something that I wasn't
It's funny
expecting.
though, we're two different chefs. I don't eat until it's done, but she eats it while she makes it.
Yeah, he just waits till it's like finished to like get a surprise.
Like, I want my plate looking pretty and everything.
I like to taste how everything is gonna taste, like, and cook it and add seasonings as I go, because I mean, at the end you could add stuff. I guess it's always better to under season it than to over season it, because then once it's on your plate you can add whatever else it is that you need, or those flavors that you crave. Another thing that we're detoxing from is salt. So the reason why that we're detoxing from salt is because, why is it?
It's toxic to the body. Like, there's salt naturally in vegetables and other
Kelp, dulse, nori,
sea vegetables as well. But just even simple things like cucumbers have natural
avocados.
Yeah, so like
A lot of foods with natural sodium in them.
all this additive salt is very toxic to the body and makes not only the process to digest food harder, but just everything else for your organs. Like, we gotta respect our organs. They've already been through enough with all the toxins they put into us.
Yeah, there's a reason why the standard American diet has so many like high levels of salt and sugar, because they're purposely like getting people sick, and they purposely want people's bodies to be off and to not like be functioning at optimum performance.
That's why we're guiding one another to heal thyself, you know? Simple things like grounding, so essential to the body. I just don't recommend it in the concrete jungle anymore, because that can even attract more parasites, because that stuff's weird. But yeah, just breath work, grounding, that's all part of fasting as well. Like, even though you should be doing it every day.
And then, you know, we went alcohol free, and now we are cannabis free. We do not smoke anything. We do not do any drugs.
Sacred.
We stopped, you know, and we stopped our psychedelics, like everything. And we're just really
we just do our
sitting.
herbal remedies if we really like feel like we're in a lot of pain, or we're like really just have random anxiety, which is probably just
Kava, kratom.
They're all here. And then our herbal teas. So like, stay tuned for the book. You already know we're really blessing y'all with some ancestral remedies.
Yeah, but you know, there's always like a natural herbal medicine for any ailment or problem that the body can have. And it's really like a lesson, like sitting with ourselves and really feeling out our emotions without escaping, without using like weed to escape or any mind-altering
Even
substances.
food is escapism.
We're just learning how to heal from that and like how to sit with our emotions and our mood swings, and you know, nobody's perfect. We're all healing from something. And it just takes like someone amazing by your side that's like willing to do it with you and support you through it all, because like he's so patient. He's one of the most patient people I know. He's so patient with me.
You just gotta bring the awareness to your life, because then it will bring so much abundance of wisdom and love to you. Because, like we said, when no one's perfect, we're still healing, we're still dealing, transforming our traumas and everything else. So like, because I still have parasites, that's why I'm obviously still I'm gonna keep doing this, you know, fruit fasting, mono fruit fasting, and then, you know, water fasting with herbs, because herbs are essential when you first get into fasting. I wouldn't recommend just going straight into a water fast. Like you gotta be smart, you know. Everyone, you know, is different with their body. Some people can do that, but for the most effective thing, like just herbs like fresh mugwort, putting that in some tea, that not only does that help, you know, with astral projection and lucid dreaming, but it kills parasites. And a lot of people don't even realize that. So, yeah, speaking of parasites, though, we keep talking about it because it's something a lot of people want to, like, you know, hide under a rock or just turn away from, but it's real. Like, parasites not only are like a food craving, it can affect so many things. Like, you see people that are all itching all the time and like all like, you know what I mean? That's parasites.
There was actually a bug on me right now too. So.
Yeah. But like, they make you have these habits, but it's literally not them making you, it's just your unconscious decisions which led up to that, because we co-create our reality. So like, even people that like are like sex addicts, like people that are always masturbating, are always like, those are parasites too. People don't realize that. People that are always on their phones, people that are always just in stagnant energy. And we're not talking down on these people, because we're just trying to guide them to heal themselves, because they have the power in them. We're all beings of sovereignty. We're all powerful. Creators and destroyers. So that's why we have to destroy these things that we created. Like, we even tried with her cat at home, because he gets fed. Like, we literally call it McDonald's, but like, you know, the cat, the dog, the animal industry is just as fucked up as
It's so sad.
the human industry. It's probably the same, you know, processes the same way. So
It's really sad. It's all like meat byproducts, artificial flavors. Like, they really do their best to get these animals hooked on a bunch of bullshit.
that's why vets make so much money. That's why hospitals make so much money. They're creating the problem and trying to give you the solution, you know.
But
we
it's
all
all
know
connected.
it's all illusion. That's why we're dissolving that reality and creating this new earth of unity in our community. Like our little kitten, Tulsi, we literally make her own food. Or, you know, when we're on the go, we just give her straight up like real wild caught tuna. Because cats have to be carnivores, of course. They're a little bit different than dogs and stuff like that. But yeah, it's possible.
We give her sea moss. She loves sea moss.
That's like a treat to her. We would give it to her every day, but you know, we're in nature.
But let's say she has access to this other food, like Friskies or whatever, like, she will choose that. And that's because they put weird stuff in there to make it alluring to them, to make it tempting for them, just like they do humans. You know, there's a whole science to it.
It really is. From
And
the texture of food to the...
Even in like cat food, you'll see it has natural flavors. The most like natural cat food you can find, it's still gonna have natural flavors in it. We've looked at so many different like cat foods.
From different stores to different...
Different brands,
places.
dry food, like wet food, everything. And
we're gonna eventually launch some dog and cat treats on our website. But, you know, they're not for human consumption, so y'all can't say shit.
But if you want to try, no one's gonna stop you.
Yeah. But yeah, we're just really enjoying being in nature finally for a day, just to heal, you know. We just want to express our gratitude for every one of y'all, for, you know, this life, to be here right now on this beautiful planet Earth. And of course, our prana, our breath of life, all my senses, my present self, our essence, all the animals that are here. There's so many beautiful birds you can probably hear. And of course, animals like Tulsi, or just, it's not even her habitat, but she's a mountain kitty now. And the beautiful plants you'll see throughout this video. Man, there's so much beauty in nature. Just take a look, take a breathe. Just go outside for a walk in your nearest park or something, 'cause this is what's real. The trees are what protect us from all this weird shit. You can have all the crystals and EMF protection, but what's really gonna help you and protect you is nature, man. We are nature.